We're back. So I should have just been patient. Ooh, sunlight. I went ahead, we cleaned up needle and seat and cleaned up the fuel bowl and stuff. It's just not happy. It pulls fuel and it'll run, but it ain't happy. So I thought there was going to be a huge delay, and our eBay carb kit came in. So, packaging could be a little better, but at least it's in a bag, I guess. And then, of course, with the eBays, you never know what you're going to get. I don't know, those are instructions, but I don't understand them. But we know enough about carburetors. If you've been watching this channel long enough, we'll figure this out. We do have accelerator pumps, we've got gaskets, we've got needle and seat, we've got idle air, and a couple of the jets and some other thingamabobs and doohickeys in there. So we're going to break this pretty much all the way down and do it right. Now, disclaimer, somebody prior to us did not like maybe the choke quit working, but somehow there's no choke plate in here. So I think we're okay with that, except it could be a problem. But we're going to go ahead and disassemble, clean it all up, put it back together, and try to run with it without a choke. To go over to the device and try a couple things. There's a little tiny jet down in here. I don't know if you can see that, or yeah, right there. We had to shave down a flat screwdriver to get in there, and it just will not turn. So for right now, we're going to bypass that guy and continue. But gosh, I don't know. We'll see. Let's just get the rest of this torn down, and then hopefully we can get to that passage and clean it out without removing that jet, maybe. All right, we got updates. So I just can't time lapse through this or go slow. I mean, it's fighting. It's fighting back. Here we are, top side of the carburetor. We've got this diaphragm-y thingy here. It's not an accelerator pump, but it's loose but kind of stuck. But loose, but it's stuck. Plus we have the one jet that we've already determined ain't coming out. Bottom side. Now this is where the accelerator pump lives, and it was held on by 3 of these, and you can tell how easily these screws came out by looking at them. They're right there. In fact, here is what they're supposed to look like. Here's what number 3 looks like. Yeah, it broke right off. So good news, this is probably where part of our problem was. Accelerator pump, hard as a rock. Lots of goo and grime and turpentine-y things in there. And then also there's this funky little, I think this is supposed to move, this needle here, and then there's 2 little jets on the side. This one is at least brass colored. This one's just full of, it's just brown and yucky inside there. So other good news is this screw broke off, with some threads and some body showing above the housing here. So we're going to take our friendly friend vice grips, and first of all we're going to latch onto this sucker and see if we can't get it to come out here without twisting it off even more. I think it's twisting, guys. I don't think we're gonna win this one. Give it just a spritz of the PB. It's not, you know, usually you'll hear a little crack or a little tick when the threads all decide to work together. I'm surprised it hasn't twisted off yet, to be honest. We're just gonna do this. It seems like it's pretty happy right here. So we're just gonna feed it some more orange. Okay, now we're getting like a whole quarter turn. This might only take 3 days to work this screw out of here. I think we're to the point where it's either going to come out or it's going to break off now. So we're going to switch our grip. To screwdriver vice grip mode. Oh, maybe not. There she comes. We got her now. Whew! I was not looking forward to drilling and tapping this for some unknown metric thread. Yeah, that's a clean extraction right there, folks. When we can find another screw. All right, so that's out and out of our way. We got to get these two guys. Oh, hey. It doesn't, why doesn't it thread? It's not doing anything. It just sits in there? That's weird. Now we're going to get really small pliers out. What if we do this? Ah, nope. I'm not sure what to do with that. That's a new one. All right, how about this guy? Ooh, yeah. Oh boy. Got another one of those. All right, then how about this guy? Is it coming? No, it's not. We might have to look at the parts and see what the heck that is. Oh, that's supposed to be together. Well, that's gonna... Okay. So here's the new one. So that's got to come out together, which means we got to come up with a fancy screwdriver tool. Okay, so probably not the right way, but on this jobber, there's a little spring and a tiny little keeper on that pin. We just broke the pin and the spring and the keeper off so that we can get, hopefully, some sort of a decent sized flat blade screwdriver in here. There we go. So you're not reusing this piece, ladies and gentlemen, if you do one of these. It's not super stuck. It feels like gummy stuck. But I don't know why. This screwdriver is not cooperating. Let's try this guy. There we go. This guy's slightly happier. There. interesting to see what's underneath this guy. Got that piece. Oh, okay, it's all goobered up. We've got the plunger piece, and then it goes down. Look at that, it's just full of gunk. And then it must, oh my gosh, it must plunge against that, but how do you, I mean, where do you, I don't know how you do that, guy. Oh, okay, I can get to this guy in here. You cannot get to that guy in there. This guy actually protrudes through here. Oh, no, he doesn't. I think this may have been broken previously by a previous attempt at a rebuild. Oh boy. All right. Because that's too long to do that. Darn it. Stop that. Guys and gals, I'm just not having happy thoughts right now. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so our kit's not exactly right. Our carburetor has a couple of jets and a couple of passages, a couple of jets in a couple passages, I guess I should say, that won't come out. I'm pretty sure this guy here is connected to that thing in there, and somewhere between the two, that one's even broken. Now, what we did find was we do have a nasty, very hard accelerator pump. So, and we do have what appears to be the correct replacement for that in our kit. So we cleaned out all the passages that we can. We removed jets and assemblies where we could, and at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put this back together using the parts that we have that are new and see how good it works. I am maybe 41.6% certain that we'll have a decent running carburetor. But in the end, I mean, you can buy, you know, from the flea bay, the whole thing for, I'm pretty sure, like $80 or $90. And I've already got a couple hours into this, fighting this carburetor. Plus, we're breaking off screws and that kind of stuff. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to replace the main needle and seat. We're going to replace the accelerator pump, some of these other little jets and things that we do have in our kit that are correct. We're going to throw this back on the high jet one more time and see if it's happy. And if it's not 100% happy, we are going to Googleize a replacement carburetor. I know, it doesn't look like a completely rebuilt carburetor. Well, that's because it isn't, all right? We replaced the bits that we could. Needle and seat, whoops, not needle and seat. Needle and seat. We didn't have any of these bits up in here. So that's all, you know, cleaned, taken apart and cleaned and screwed back together. For some reason we got an idle mixture screw that is the same, so we used that. The big things though are on the bottom. Accelerator pump, we did have one of those with the right gasket, and it has made a remarkable difference in how this thing manipulates. We've got parts and pieces. We've got this little guy that we just couldn't get out the old one at all. This little guy was wrong, no big deal, but we got no choke. We got screws that won't come out. This main idle stop screw here, and I mentioned this before, but it is just frozen here. And so there's no way, really, I mean, there's other ways that you can cheat and adjust your idle, and we'll try that. But overall, we're going to throw this on now. I do think it'll be better than what we've had the first 2 tries. But I almost guarantee you that we're going to be needing to purchase a new Chinesium carburetor. So let's get her on there and see what goes. I almost forgot though, while the carburetor is out, this bad ride showed up. Newly remanufactured alternator for this pig. So we're going to throw that in because it's a lot easier to get to the back of the alternator with the carb out, because the carb sits right there. And then we also have 2 new belties for it. So let's go ahead, do alternator and belts, then we'll put the carb on, and then maybe that'll give us some good mojo and get this thing running better. All right, let's see here. If I remember right. Yeah. You gotta go in with something like this here. I wonder where all these big flakes of rust came from. I don't know. There. Oh, no, there. Yeah. There. Should probably brought a wrench for socket for that, but I think we're getting it started. I can literally reach around the back of the cab and manipulate this alternator to get this bolt going. It's ridiculous. I'm holding the back of the alternator right now and touching the front pulley of the alternator at the same time. Not too many cars you can do that with. We're gonna have to find a spacer. Was there a spacer in the old one? I don't think so. Huh. Let's go look. They're not lined up. How, why? That's not acceptable. We got a problem. A little problem. Hang on. Okay, we're back. Found a fairly easy solution and simple solution to this. The old alternator had a spacer on it. That was about, I don't know, 6 or 7 millimeter spacer. Look at me go with the Minitrucks. But this had enough threads on the main shaft here that we're able to add that spacer behind this pulley, even though the ear on the housing was just a little bit different, guys. But we are gonna get it here. Oh, we gotta put a spacer. Thanks, light. We gotta put a spacer behind the adjustomizer bracket still because of the offset in the ear. So I'll get a new light and I'll find some spacers. If nothing else, we'll use washers and we'll be back. So we've got 2 thick washers in there, and that's just gonna have to be how it goes. Oopsie, get on the other pulley there, bud. Hopefully, yeah, that's gonna work. We're just going to the biggest pry bar we have. This one's for the hydraulics, the pump anyway. Let's see if it'll go on. Oh, it's gonna be really tight. Oh, you son of a booger. I'm sorry, I'm moving you guys, I know it, but hang in there with me for a second here. It's gonna be okay, because we're gonna get this belt on there, and then we can add some hydros maybe. I don't know where I'm gonna adjust for this one. And then this guy, the other half of this bracket is behind the belt too. Oh, and it's a different size bolt. I mean, this is just fun. Yeah, that's decent. This is less decent, but they're both tight enough to turn what they need to turn. Now, back here, move stuff. See what I mean? Carburetor goes right here, back of alternator. So yeah, this is how we need to do this. Back to the carburetor, and you've seen this multiple times, so I'm gonna throw it on there and then we'll be back. All right, here's where we currently are at. It's running. Okay, I didn't do the whole first start thing. I started tinkering, trying to get it to idle. Appears to be charging. The radiator fan even came on when it got warmer. But the temperature light's on in the dash. I checked it with the infrared. It's not getting hot, but we've got some sort of a circuit in the temp light in the dash. No big deal, but bigger issues, well, other issues, it's running rough. So our theory about the carburetor is probably still there. It's just not happy. However, this has got a return line fuel system. So I keep filling up the little 2-gallon jug here is our rescue jug. And we run the Daihatsu for a few minutes. And then it runs out of fuel in the jug because there's a return line that goes back to the tank. So I figured, you know what, no better time than the present. Let's see, because there's probably 3 or 4 gallons of fuel in the tank now. Let's just see if we can pull fuel from the tank. So we took, there's a ratty old piece of fuel line here, if you remember back. We took that off, hooked up our filter, and we blew air backwards into the tank, and I could hear it gurgling back there. It's going bloop, 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 like that. Okay, so we tried starting it again. Still no fuel. So I thought, okay, we've got a blockage. We've got a bunch of gunk in the tank, rust, whatever, I don't know, bad fuel, turpentine, maple syrup, I don't know. But then, just for funsies, we did this. You know, and you always kind of gotta, let's see, where are we at? Let's go, okay, right there. And we'll even give you some light. Okay, watch here. Well, maybe we just, because we blew air through that line back to the tank, maybe it just needs a little help re-priming that fuel line from the tank to the pump. So we came back here and we thought, well, let's pressurize the tank just a little bit and see, yeah, if we can get fuel out of it. Oh yeah, we can get fuel out of it. And it smells like the good fuel that the carb has been returning to the tank. So here is the deal, folks. The fuel pump is a mechanical pump. In order for a mechanical pump to pull fuel, it's doing that with vacuum. And it has to have an airtight line from the source to the carburetor in order for that vacuum to work. And this has got a big old hole in it right here. So we loosened up these two clamps. We're going to replace this section of line and then spend a little more time in the shop tonight and see if this thing will run. Yeah, that's a pretty big leak. This was that section line right here from here to here. We've replaced it with some good old 1/4 inch fuel line. Now let's blow into there again. Make sure we ain't got no. My liver. That chunk of rust right here. Make sure we don't have any more leakages here. Okay. That should get us something in the line. Let's see if this sucker will crank up and run for us here. I just wanted to get it to run good so we can go on. Oh, I got a little dirt in there. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to use starting fluid now because we don't want fuel to build up in this breather hose here. There it goes. Out of the tank, guys and gals. Not like the idle. Actually getting better. This is the best it's idled so far. I'm going to try to make it through my little vacuum line pluggers and back. You guys, let me know if this dies, okay? Here we go. Oh, man. All right. We're going to try the adjustable again. put my adjustable lever. It's a little fast, but oops. Let me pick some stuff up. We're gonna try the dump bed. All right, we got stuff moved out of the way. I think it'll run long enough to try this. Let's see, start, we're gonna try to make this thing go. Inside to here, it says up and down. I think that works it. There we go. Up. Oh, the fan kicked on. Ha! Look at that! Holy moly! That's it right there. Down. Yeah! Still running pretty uneven. Okay. Now this is the lift. I think you can go like that. And I think it's supposed to lift up like this. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty cool. Woo! And then this part would be attached to the bed and be like that. Let's go down here. Rack needs to slide. A little sticky. All right, now. Furthermore, there's a little remote control box down here. It doesn't work. Nope, this one don't work. That's okay, we'll figure it out later. Let's see if it'll move. This is weird. Looking on this side is super, oh my, I'm not following. Right there, sit down. It's got a hydraulic clutch, so. forward. That's backwards. Got no brake pedal, not much anyway. Good go. Woo! That seems like a good place to end the video. Running, a little rough. We're gonna get the air filter can on there and see if that doesn't smooth it out, but in the end, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to buy a carburetor. But that's okay, because you know what? It runs, it moves forwards, it moves backwards, and all the Dumpama things happen, I believe, like they're supposed to. How cool is that? Thanks for hanging out for this one. We got a ton more fun stuff to do with this guy. Appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one.